Hi guys, today I want to talk about how to stop drinking or how to reduce your alcohol consumption. I used to drink a lot at university, but now I would say I drink on average once every 2 months or something like that. I haven't stopped completely. I think that's great if you want to do that, but I also don't think that that's 100% necessary. Just by reducing the amount that you drink, it's going to have huge health benefits. Obviously we're all aware of the risks that come with drinking alcohol. Of course it is a drug at the end of the day, it's a legal drug but it is a drug. The evidence for causing cancer and other illnesses is well documented. I'm not going to talk about the risks and things related to drinking too much and the negative effects. I want to focus on the positive things about drinking less. So firstly, you're going to feel so much better. Everything is going to function better internally. Obviously you're doing your liver a huge favour by not drinking alcohol, so you're never going to have to deal with that hangover day, which everyone in the end hates. And hangovers are your body's way of telling you not to do that again. Alcohol contains a lot of calories, so actually by cutting alcohol you can really notice the change if you're looking to reduce your weight. And of course you'll also save money because alcohol is actually quite expensive. So feeling better, avoiding hangovers, you're going to reduce your calorie intake by a lot by reducing the amount of alcohol that you drink, and of course reducing the amount of money that you spend. So those are just some of the obvious advantages to reducing the amount you drink. Now the question is how to do that. Obviously it's easy to say just drink less, but drinking is a very complicated socio-cultural phenomenon. So it's not just about your decision to say, okay, I'm gonna drink less and that's it. It's obviously more deep-rooted than that, because otherwise it would be easier to do, or more people would think of the initiative to do it in the first place. So first of all, I think we need to change the way that we think about alcohol. When I moved to Spain 3 years ago, I just noticed that they have a completely different attitude towards alcohol. People still drink here, of course. Like red wine with a meal is very popular, and having a beer in the afternoon. But they call it a caña, and it's like this big. It's not a pint. I don't know actually how much it is, maybe like half a pint or something like that. And you have that with a tapa, so you have it with like a bit of food. I think alcohol and food here kind of go together. It's more about enjoying drinking. Of course it's a social thing that you do with your friends, or you do with your family, or you do for a celebration, and of course that's nice, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not advocating that everyone has to stop drinking, but the problem is the way that alcohol is thought about, especially, I mean, I'm talking about the UK because that's my experience. That's where I went to university in Leeds, and then in Roehampton in London. And the culture of drinking is something that's really difficult to avoid, I think, because it's so ingrained into like the student experience. And then after that, even when I was working in London, you have this like union of work and drink. So I think the first step is, if not for yourself, for other people, just to think, okay, it's okay if people don't want to drink. Like if someone says to you, oh no, I'm not drinking tonight, you know, you can just be like, okay. It doesn't need to be a big deal, you know, that's everyone's personal decision, and it shouldn't affect you whether someone else decides to drink or not. And I think that's maybe the first step, being accepting of other people's decisions not to drink. And then of course for yourself, it can be more complicated because it's going to depend on a lot of things. It'll probably depend on your job, it'll depend on how you spend your free time, so the kinds of activities that you do with your friends. If what you do with your friends is go drinking, then obviously that's going to make it more difficult to stop drinking. First of all, think about your group of friends. You know, if they're good friends, I would say that they should respect your decision to say, guys, I'm not drinking tonight, like let's go out, let's have a good time, I'm just not going to drink. People do this, and the funny thing is that when you are the designated driver, people will accept that you're not going to drink. So I don't know, maybe you could use that as an excuse. You can be like, okay guys, I'm driving tonight. You shouldn't have to have an excuse. Like, I know that times at university, I made up that I was taking antibiotics so that people would leave me alone and I didn't have to drink. And I was guilty as well of saying to my friends, come on, let's drink tonight, or even like buying a round of shots for everyone. And I look back on that now and I think, like, I'm sorry, university friends. I'm sorry to myself, I guess, for not seeing that should not be the most important thing about going out and having a good night. We have to really start taking care of our bodies and making decisions for ourselves and being independent and not succumbing to peer pressure. But of course there has to be first the desire to reduce the amount you drink or to stop drinking. So consider your social situation. So if you do just go out to drink and that's how you see your friends, maybe think of a different way that you can socialize with your friends, do a different activity. Anything that you can think of that is like a group activity, or like here in Spain it's really typical to go for a coffee with friends. So, you know, instead of going for a drink, go for a coffee. Really consider the type of lifestyle that you want to lead, the people that you want to surround yourself with. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions to be able to put your health and your happiness first, and there will be some compromises, but in the end it will always be worth it. I think we just need to like change the way that we see alcohol. I think the realization that you can have a great night without drinking is important. Speaking to your friends and making sure that your friends respect your decision is another important thing. Maybe changing the things that you do socially with people is another way. Just in general, having respect for your body, because in the end it's your body and everything that you put in will have a consequence. So feed your body with good things, natural things, healthy things. So I just want to say, like, on a personal note, that since I moved to Spain 3 years ago, I've definitely reduced my alcohol consumption, and since I started dancing ballet more seriously, and I went to the conservatorio, which is like the conservatoire for professional dance here. I mean, there was absolutely no option of drinking because I wouldn't be able to dance properly the next day. And that's really when you realise, when you're actually more demanding of your body and more aware of your own health and your own fitness, you really notice what a damaging effect alcohol does have. It's definitely worth considering reducing your alcohol intake, and if that does, and sometimes it's actually easier just to stop completely, and then very gradually, if you do want to just reintroduce drinking once in a while, then of course that's fine. But sometimes people find it easier just to completely stop, like say, okay, next month absolutely no alcohol, and then that might be an easier way to do it. I don't know, it depends on you, it depends on your situation and how you think. But I can definitely say in my experience, having reduced the amount of alcohol that I drink, I feel just so much better. My body, I feel more happy, I can think clearly, and I'm definitely the strongest that I've ever been at 27 years old. So and I think that reducing alcohol definitely has a part to play in that. So I would definitely recommend that for everybody. Just really rethink how you think about alcohol, and I really hope this has helped. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.